What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. A new galaxy I support was announced, and that is Photon Delta Wing, and it is a level 4. Basically, when it's normal summon, it brings another copy of itself out. Very simple, yet very effective. It actually is like one of the best cards that has come out for Photon or Galaxy Eyes in a really long time, and or at least the way that I play it. So I'll showcase that right now. Definitely going to be messing around with the deck. The only drawback of this card is that it locks you into light monsters for the rest of the turn. So technically, you can play before it and do some other extra deck plays. But a lot of the times, you're going to want to go into this early, meaning that Melody of Awakening Dragons is like significantly worse now. It's like kind of like was a staple, I feel like, for Galaxy Eyes for a really long time, but maybe not anymore. So still something I have to figure out. I don't really know if I like it or not, but because there's normally a couple cards you like to search out. One of them for sure is still really, really good. Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon basically replaces itself by when it's detached as material. It lets you summon a Photon Dragon from your deck or your hand, which is pretty nice. Galaxy Soldier is actually like a lot better now because this card's really good and you can search it off a Photon Orbital. A lot of the times before you were summoning or basically grabbing this, but now you can, Galaxy Soldier becomes a lot better. You can search Afterglow, you can search Galaxy Summoner, and this card's kind of here too, and it's very, very searchable. Galaxy Photon Dragon also searches basically any card in your entire deck. So you can go ahead and normal summon, bring that back. This lets you turn anything into a level 4. If you control Galaxy S Photon Dragon, you can special summon this card, so it's a free special summon. Like I said, it also replaces itself, which is really, really nice. And then here comes Photon Dragon. Most of the time, you're going to be searching Galaxy 100. Really, really awesome card. Basically, lets you Foolish Burial anything. Also, if you special summon a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, you get to look at your opponent's extra deck and rip one. You'll see a lot of combos for that. This is kind of like the most basic version of the combo I can show. You're going to send Photon Emperor like 99% of the time. It's a free special summon as long as there's like a light monster on the field or graveyard. Very easy to fulfill. This card has a secondary effect that lets you change any monster, basically, that's special summoned into a 4 or an 8. So if it's an 8, it becomes a 4, which you'll need because, as you might imagine, this is like the perfect deck for the Utopia rank 4 engine. I have an addiction, that's fine. But it does lock you into lights, and this is the best light engine, basically, in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, in my opinion. So obviously you're going to go into F-Zero. You can hard make, right? The problem with this a lot of the times is you'll have all these monster negates, like Felgrand is a monster negate, Photon Lord is a monster negate, F-Zero is a monster negate, but you don't have a lot of defense against trap cards or spell cards, which can be kind of a problem. So this is kind of how I would order it. This is how I would attack it. And again, unfortunately, can't use Chaos Dragon Levy in here. You're locked in the lights. I wish it was from the extra deck. That would have been like a lot better. But there are definitely some combos where you can use this before you go into the new Delta Wing. But in this case, I couldn't. And maybe I'll take this out. I'm not sure. Okay, so I have a monster negate. This is going to be a monster negate. This is a spell negate. And obviously, there's so many options you can do with number 99. It's like anything between 1 and 100. One thing I would recommend, especially because like this just loses to evenly matched, and that's like such a big bummer. This is like one of the only Omni negates within the number system, like that you can summon off of number 99. So this lets you basically attach material. Now, the only real problem is you can't choose when the Omni negate is, but the fortunate thing, I guess you can say, is at least that if it was evenly matched, you have the answer for it, right? That's going to be the first effect that your opponent activates, more than likely, because they don't want to have anything on the board. But yeah, this is an Omni negate for the first card effect, so including you. So you got to make sure you time your stuff. If you activate something, and first this would go off, and you would negate your own card. Don't want to do that. But if in case they have like a runic spell or something, just kind of have that backup, or you want to save this most of the time for like those big powerful cards, and this kind of helps you do it. Like I said, you can go into so many other cards, any number of monster you can possibly think of, plenty of options, Stealth Kragan and all that kind of stuff, but it is nice to kind of have insurance against almost everything else, because you really have monsters covered, right? These are 2 destruction monster effects. This is a spell negate, and again, you don't really have anything else, so that's kind of why I do that. But that's how that works. I'll show you guys a few other combos. These ones go a little bit quicker. Again, Galaxy Soldiers are so good. This turns anything into a level 4. Because obviously this is a rank 4 deck, and this card would be useless otherwise. Photon Emperor comes down. You can bring that self out. Bring back Advance. I wasn't able to special summon it, but that's okay. Change that into a 4. I can go into Photon Dragon, searching the new Delta Wing, right? This gives you an extra normal summon. So just more bodies. And really, I think the mark for any good rank 4 deck, other than Constellar, because it's like so unique, is you need to have 2 monsters in your main deck that can make 2 rank 4s by itself. So Galaxy Summoner did that, and it kind of felt a little empty, right? That was the only thing that you could do. But now that Delta Wing is here and makes another extra 4, basically these combos are fairly consistent. Still working on the consistent part, but it makes it a way better, way more consistent, especially because everything's essentially searchable. Yeah, that's always a cool thing. I do love doing this. Felgrand can actually activate its effect on your own monsters or on itself. So if you just detach Afterglow, you can bring this out. So if you had Galaxy 100, you also get to snipe a card out of your opponent's extra deck. And Diablos is banned, so most everyone's going to go back to normal deck building when it comes to the extra deck. No doubles, which means you can kind of take advantage of that, and you can rip something out of your opponent's extra deck. And then obviously during your opponent's turn, you can go ahead and do this. So you could do Sir Lancelot, or whatever it's called. I don't think that's what it's called. The Lancelot card, I'm pretty sure that's in there for the Omni Negate if you didn't attach with Photon Lord. But I don't know. It just kind of depends. It's, ripping a card out of your opponent's extra deck is obviously very good. Most archetypes are very monster heavy. So especially going into game 3, if you know what your opponent's playing, you can kind of just tailor your end board to be, whatever you need it to beat your opponent. I'll show off a couple more here. Same concept. The cool thing is if you have both of these cards in your hand, it's actually like pretty good. You're going to want to run hand traps that are probably light, so this could probably be better as Effect Veiler. But, this can search you whatever you don't have. And to have already these two is like a very, very good sign. Photon Lord, and that can search me Galaxy 100 just like always. And, that's what makes it so consistent now. Like all this new support has just like been huge for that. Extra normal summon, it can bring out Delta Wing, so the 2 cards work really, really well together. And then I can go into like the normal kind of rank 4 plays. You should always on F-Zero, and then, all of your interruptions basically. F-Zero, the Photon Lord, Hope Harbinger, and then Lancelot. Or Felgrand, depending. If you have 100, you probably do want to snipe a card out of your opponent's extra deck. Like, that's just such a powerful effect. Obviously, it got a card banned. That wasn't the only reason it was banned, but it was, it changed the way that deck building worked for months and months before this ban list came out. But yeah, that's the idea. The last one's kind of the same concept. But let me know what you guys think about the new support in the comment section down below. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I will see you guys next time.